Hi and welcome to this dcpweb tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a bulk schedule to post messages on your social media profiles using Hoot Suite. So let's go to the internet browser. We're looking at Hoot Suite right now, and I use Hoot Suite to post social media messages on my Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn and Instagram. And the idea here is to use this software to create a schedule, a 24-hour schedule for example, and that schedule, or Hootsuite, will run that schedule for you. So it will post messages on Twitter every 20 minutes, every 15 minutes. You can set it up so that it posts one every hour, and then at lunchtime it does more posts, and maybe at 5 o'clock it will do more posts. It's entirely up to you how you schedule the messages, and you do that via a CSV file, which is a bit like an Excel spreadsheet, you could say. Well, it is very similar to Excel spreadsheet. So Hootsuite, I believe you can sign up for a 30-day free trial. So that's what I think I originally started off with, was a 30-day free trial, and then I believe it costs something like £30 a month, which works out around £1 a day, which I think is good value. So if we go over to my Twitter profile, what Hootsuite is doing is I upload a schedule, and then Hootsuite will post all of these blog post messages for me, and some of them will get shared, some of them will get likes, but the idea is that you keep posting these messages to try and get as much traction to your website and post useful stuff. You know, a lot of my stuff is based on my blog or news content, so when you go over to my website, all of these tutorials, I do a lot of video tutorials and a lot of articles, and I post them on my blog, and then I use Hootsuite to publish them on all my social media profiles. So you need some good content really to use Hootsuite effectively, you could say. So let's go back to Hootsuite, and I'm going to click on the dashboard. And when you first log into Hootsuite, you need to follow the basic on-screen instructions. It will show you how to add your social networks. So if you want to add your Twitter, your Facebook, your Google+, your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile, it will show you how to do that when you log in. There's like a little tutorial screen that will come up and explain how to do that. So I'm not going to go through that now. But what I'm going to show you now is the compose message section. So when I hover over that, I'm going to go to scheduling here, and then it says want to save time, try the new bulk composer. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to ask me to upload a CSV file. So I've already read about this and I've created this CSV file, so I'm going to show you that. And you can see an example here. Column A contains the date, column B contains the message, and then column C contains the link where the user will click to go and visit that content. So let's have a look at a bulk schedule now. So I'm going to open up this folder, and we can use Excel, we can use Open Office Calc or LibreOffice Calc. Any of these three spreadsheet applications, you can do the same job. In this example, we'll use Open Office Calc. I'm just going to drag and drop the file in, and it's going to open up this file. And let's zoom in a little bit so you understand what's going on. So here you can see on the 2nd of the 9th, which was this morning at midnight, it posted this message. Now this schedule doesn't say where it's going to post. It's just the message itself, and then in Hootsuite you decide where you want to post this particular schedule, whether you want to post it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. You decide which profiles these messages get posted on. So in here you can see, as I scroll down, there's quite a lot of messages. There's probably 117 in total, and you'll notice that in the early hours of the morning I only post every half an hour or every hour, and then as it gets closer to people waking up or starting their work or going to work or whatever it might be, and especially around lunchtime, I post a lot more messages. You seem to get more traction around lunchtime. People are checking their Twitter feeds and so forth, and then after lunch I'll slow it down again and post every 15 minutes or every half an hour, and then at around 5 o'clock I'll start posting more messages, and then after around 7 it will start to slow down again, and then it will rotate back to the top again on my next schedule that I create. Now, one thing that's important, if you look at today's date, it's the 2nd, and it's 10:15 almost. It's 10, yeah, we can say it's 10:13, but let's say it's 10:15. So, and it's the 2nd today. So when I look at this schedule, I can't upload it straight away. I need to fix the schedule so that it's working for tomorrow and some of today. So what I normally do is scroll down the schedule and look at when the next message would be. So 10:15, and here we can see 10:30. So that will be where the next message gets posted. But in this example, I'm going to use 11 o'clock because I'm doing this a bit slower than usual as I'm explaining this. So really, these two here I want to set to the 2nd, which will be today's date. But everything else above I want to set for tomorrow, because all of this stuff above will be for tomorrow's schedule, starting from midnight tomorrow all the way down back around to this 11 o'clock here, if that makes sense. So to do this, I'm going to use the find and replace tool. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy this, I'm going to press Control F to find, and I'm going to ask it to search for this date, but I don't want to change the time, just the date. So I'm going to ask it to look for anything that is the 2nd of the 9th and replace it with the 3rd of the 9th, which is tomorrow. So let's replace all of that. So that should be fine. And then it's asking me, I'm going to ask it to look for the 1st of the 9th and replace that also with the 3rd of the 9th. Okay, so we can say that starting from this particular date and this time will be everything starting from midnight tonight. All of tomorrow, this schedule will run throughout the whole day, and it will end here. But really, these two here are for today, because we're looking at the time again and it's 10:15. So I'm going to edit this one manually and change it to the 2nd. So this will post today at 11 o'clock midnight, well 11 p.m. and this one will post at 11:30. Then everything above will be for tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'm going to save this file and keep it as a CSV file, and we'll close this, and here's the schedule. And I'm going to go back to Firefox, my browser, and select the file to upload. So here is the file. I'm going to open it, and it's going to ask me which social networks do I want to post on. So in this case, I'm going to post on Facebook and Google+, these two here for now. I could do Twitter as well, but I'm going to explain why to do Twitter separately in a moment. So it says, do you want to shorten links? There's one thing that I missed in that spreadsheet. Let me just show you one thing quickly. I'm just going to minimize this. We'll open it up again. This is quite important. It's worth understanding. So when we open up the schedule, if you look in the 3rd column, so the first column is the date. The 2nd column is the message that's going to get posted, and you see I'm using a lot of hashtags. That's good for when people want to search for a particular subject area or topic. And in the 3rd column, you see the URL. So when someone clicks on this link, it will go to my website and go to that particular blog post. Now you see they're all bit.ly links. These are link shorteners, and the reason I use that tool is it allows me to use more text here, because Twitter only allows you to use a certain amount of characters in the post. So you have to be, you have to be a bit smart in the way that you use your hashtags and in the way that you write your content. I don't write separate content or separate blog posts in here for Facebook or Facebook or Google+. I use the same schedule for Twitter, Facebook and Google+. You can write them separately, but that's quite a long job. So this bit.ly here, let me just explain that quickly. Let's close this. If I go to my blog and click on any of these blog posts, let's say calculate percentages, you'll notice that the URL is quite long here. And when I use a long URL in Twitter, it will take up some of the character space, and we want to minimize the amount of space that the URL takes. If we went to Twitter and clicked on tweet, it only allows 140 characters, and you don't want to use all your characters just on the URL. It wouldn't make sense. So you go to sign up to bit.ly. You can sign up to this tool here, and you can use the tool to shorten your links to make them shorter like this here, you see. And that will save space in your Twitter message, so you can see that link here, and you can get more written content which is more useful to help A, people find it, and B, for them to understand what that blog post is about. So I'm not going to explain how to use bit.ly, but if you go to YouTube, and if you go to youtube.com/dcpwebdesigners and then click on video, in here you should find, let's just search for it. Down here you can find a tutorial how to create short links using bit.ly video tutorial. So you can watch that tutorial. It's a bit further down my page here, and that will teach you how to use this tool here, bit.ly. Okay, let's go back to Hoot Suite. So we uploaded the file and we selected the 2 profiles that we want to schedule for, and we're going to click to review. And make sure you tick this option. If you're using bit.ly, do not shorten links, because Hootsuite will shorten them for you, but it's better that you control it through something like bit.ly. I prefer to use this tool. It's entirely your choice, but you can see things like date created, top performing. You can see how many people clicked on, like Friday, 273 people clicked on this on this particular day. That's how many got clicked on the bit.ly, so it gives some nice statistics here as well. And this is free to use to a certain extent. So let's go back to Hootsuite. I'll click review message. And here you can see all of the posts that will go out on social media. There's one post here, you can see all the different posts, and all you do is click schedule all messages. That's it, and it's going to schedule them for Google Plus and Facebook. So this can take 20 or 30 seconds to complete. Okay, so that's done. If I go to view schedule messages, now you can see the whole schedule. So at 11 o'clock it's going to post to 2 social profiles, and it's going to post that message. You can see today 11 and 12, or 11 and 11:30, and you can start seeing yesterday's schedule. Remember, we changed it to the 3rd in the spreadsheet, so that might make it a bit clearer now why we did that. If we open up this spreadsheet again, and if we look carefully, all of these are the 3rd, you see? All the way down is the 3rd, so that's all tomorrow's schedule. Only these 2, which is close to the timing here, are for today. I could have put 10:30 probably into that schedule as well for today, but it doesn't matter. It's not so important. So when you look at Hootsuite, you'll see only 2 for today and all the rest for tomorrow. So I don't have to schedule anything for tomorrow now. The whole schedule is done all the way up until 10:30 p.m. And during the day tomorrow, if I want to, I probably won't, but if I want to, on a Sunday I could redo this schedule and post it quite quickly. One thing that you should do though is when you're creating these spreadsheets, let's do one more actually. what I would do now is I would archive this one, so I'd copy it into here. You can right click and drag into the archive and copy it here. And then when I'm creating tomorrow's schedule, so if I'm sitting down and looking at tomorrow to create the schedule for Monday, I would change this date to the 3rd, and I would reorder the schedule. Let's do that in Calc. So you can imagine this is your schedule for Monday. You don't really want to post the same messages in the same sequence, in the same order, at the same time. It's going to get very repetitive, and it's going to get a bit boring for people looking at your profile. So normally what I do is I select a section like this, I cut it using Control X, and I paste it to the side here. Then I'll cut this section here and paste it, and I'll move down the schedule like this. Looks a bit strange, but what I'm doing, then I can take this section here that was posted between 4:20 and 11:30, and I'll take that whole section and move it to the top. Then I try and randomize it a bit, so I'll take this section here and post it here. So basically you're rescheduling the content as well, which is quite important because you don't want to repeat your schedule every single day for it to be identical. It's going to get very boring for people visiting your social media profile. So now I've reordered the whole schedule, so I can just save this, and then I'll change the date again. So tomorrow will be the 3rd, and I'm scheduling for Monday, which will be the 4th. So I'll change all of the 3rds to the 4th, and these two down here will become the 3rd, because that will be 11 o'clock and 11:30 on Sunday. I hope that makes sense. It may sound a bit complicated, but really you're scheduling in advance, so you have to think one day in advance, not on the same day that you're doing the schedule. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So one last thing to do, let's just go back here. I'm going to show you one more thing quickly. I'm going to open up this schedule one more time. I'm going to show you something about Twitter. Twitter's done a bit different. It's a bit of a pain, but I'll explain. So what I'll do first of all is I'll change this back to the 2nd, because I'm making the schedule today, but I'm scheduling for tomorrow. So whenever I make the schedule, I give it that date, the day that I'm making the schedule, but the content inside will be for the following day. I'm going to drag and drop this schedule back in here, and I'm going to do a very short schedule. I'm going to delete most of this content. Where are we? It's coming up to 10:30. So what I'll do, I'm just going to schedule these two messages at the bottom, and I'm going to show you them how to show you them for Twitter. I'm only doing two because it takes quite a bit of time to do the Twitter schedule. In fact, let's schedule for tomorrow. Let's schedule the first 10. Normally I'll do the whole lot, but let's just do 10 as an example. So I'll delete all this content. I've only got 10 posts in here. I'm going to save it. The date is correct because I'm scheduling for tomorrow. And we'll go back to Hoot Suite. I'll click on Compose. Click on the bulk scheduler. I will select that file and do not shorten links, and I'm going to select Twitter. Do you remember before I selected Facebook and Google+? This time I'm only going to select Twitter. I'll do Twitter separately. The reason for that is when you bulk schedule for Twitter, you have to click on each one of these sections. You have to click on it and then click on the picture. You have to do them one by one, which is quite painful, but it's the way it has to be done. So each one of these, I'll click on them. And what that will do is it will take the image from my website, import it into Hootsuite, and then use that image when it's posting the content to Twitter. So when we look at Twitter, you can see the images here. You have to do that. You have to do that manually. There is another way to do that. You can kind of automate it, but when you automate it, what happens is the image looks like this, which doesn't look very good. So my advice is to take your time, click on each image and do your Twitter profile separately, the uploading for this one. So I can click schedule and then schedule all messages, and it will schedule those messages now for tomorrow. So if we look at our schedule, we'll see there's 3 of them now. Here's the one for Twitter. You can see the ones for Twitter here. So I know that took a bit of time to explain, but hopefully I explained it quite well. And if you've got any questions or you're not sure about anything, feel free to post a message on social media, on my YouTube channel where I upload this, or wherever you see this video, and I'll try and help you. Okay, I look forward to seeing you on the next DCP web tutorial.